So now we want to talk about the third type of Social Security benefit, the divorced spouse Social Security benefit. And this is a little bit like a cousin to the spousal benefit. Let's talk about some of the characteristics and similarities between the spousal and divorced spouse benefit. So the percentage that's available is going to be the same between the two. We're going to get up to 50% of a benefit on our ex-spouse's working record. And if we take it early, it's going to be less than 50%. If we delay beyond full retirement age, it's not going to grow more than the 50% max. If that ex-spouse passes away, that is a circumstance where the 50% benefit then changes to 100% of the ex-spouse's benefit. But there are some differences between the two types of benefits. One is, as in the spousal benefit, if you remember, the opposite spouse has to have activated their benefit in order to start a spousal benefit. But with the divorce spouse benefit, the ex-spouse does not have to have started their own Social Security benefit in order for an individual to activate their divorce spouse benefit. There are some characteristics, though, that need to be true of your situation in order to utilize a divorce spouse benefit. One is that marriage has to have lasted 10 years or longer. Secondly, the person who wants to use the benefit has to be unmarried. And there's an age criteria that both ex-spouses have to have at least reached the age of 62. Let's take a look at an example, kind of a funny one. Ward and June divorce, unfortunately, after the Beeve was caught shoplifting at Kmart. Let's look at the characteristics. She's 62. She remains unmarried. June and Ward were married for 20 years. But Ward hasn't activated his benefit, doesn't plan to activate his benefit till much later, age 70. Well, what about all these characteristics and criteria? Do they meet our criteria that we discussed before? Yeah, she's 62 and Ward's 65, so they're both 62. June remains unmarried, and they meet the 10-year age or the 10-year criteria for how long the marriage lasted. So June goes into the Social Security office. She's got all of her documents in order related to the marriage and the divorce, and she's able to begin it. And they're not going to tell Ward. Ward has no idea. And some people would say that Ward really never had any idea of what was going on at the house. What about ways that we could maximize a divorced spouse benefit if it's applicable to us? So if you recall the restricted application for those who were born on January 1st of 1954 or earlier, there is still the ability to use restricted application using the divorce spouse strategy, which we'll describe here. And once again, just to reiterate, it's all about having somebody that intends to delay their own Social Security till a later age, but is able to get additional funds while they're waiting and while they're allowing their own benefit to grow because of delayed retirement credits. So let's say that June intends to delay her own benefit until later. She could, if she qualifies age-wise, between her full retirement age and age 70, activate her divorce spouse benefit off of Ward's working record. So let's say that they both have their own benefit of $2,000 per month, which would make the divorced spouse benefit $1,000. So between 66 and age 70, the June would be taking $1,000 a month, and she gets some cost of living increases, hopefully, in each of those 4 years. And then, when she reached age 70, she would switch over to her own benefit, which has grown from $2,000 to be 132% higher, $2,640 at that point.